In a video I made a few weeks ago, I said how United States-China relations are directly related to some of the grievances in the United States that have brought Trump to power. Most notably, that one of the reasons that we sent manufacturing and other jobs over to China was the goal that through China becoming more capitalistic, it would become a democratic country, and that has not shown itself to have happened. And so people who lost their jobs because their industries were affected over the past 20, 30 years, especially in manufacturing and automobiles, have been angry over the past 20, 30 years. And that is why they have voted for a president who wants to bring back jobs to America. This idea is actually not that new. As I said, it was used for Western Germany to try to get it away from the Soviet Union. But even in the early 1960s, America had this policy towards the rest of the world. In the 1950s, America did really well for itself because Europe and Japan were both struggling after World War II. That is when the Marshall Plan stepped in, when America started investing in these countries to help them out. By the late 1950s, these countries had recovered, and all the benefits that American companies had, like Coca-Cola being able to trade more with Europe, was becoming harder to do because now you had more competition in Europe. So the European Union began to appear. This kind of was a problem for the United States, and they had to start making new deals with Europe. And one of the issues is that they wanted to prevent Europe and other countries from trading with communist countries underneath the Soviet Union's yoke. Here is a text that is explaining that one of the reasons that they increased trade with the global south and Europe was for that exact reason. The problem with that is that it actually directly hurt the South in the United States because the South is a primarily agricultural region. And this is sad because the South hadn't been doing very well anyway, because after the Civil War, the Reconstruction era ended not so well because all the plans that they had kind of were eroded, and then the Great Depression, the previous Great Depression of the late 19th century, caused the South to have a lack of money to invest in education. And then in the early 20th century, a lot of people migrated out of the South due to its poor economy and racism. And then here comes the 1960s, where in order to compete internationally, the South was once again sacrificed. What do you think about that? Bye-bye.